So here we have Glenn Greenwald talking about independent media, independent journalism, independent political commentary on the Futo YouTube channel. Now, Sabby Sabs has already done a video covering this clip on her YouTube channel. You can check that out for yourself. But here it is.
But the problem became that the more you attach yourself to an institution and become the spokesperson for it, or you become dependent on a particular political faction, the more this kind of censorship and repression starts to seep into your brain in a kind of subliminal way. You may not even be aware of the ways in which you're being constrained. And it was only once I left The Intercept and returned to a fully independent model, which is Substack, where it's a very similar model to what I was relying on in 2005 in the sense that I rely on, it's not now donations, it's subscriptions, but it's the same thing. It's my readership willingly paying for my work, and they're essentially the only boss I have. It's where most of my income comes from. And it will work and is working only to the extent that Substack and its founders and managers remain committed to this model of refusing to capitulate to societal pressure, and especially from liberal establishments that they deplatform people deemed unsuitable to be heard. And so far, Substack has been impressively defiant in doing so. But Substack still hasn't quite grown into the magnitude of a media player that they need to in order for us to really know how committed they are to resisting that.
So, Glenn Greenwald talked about how he used to work at The Intercept, but then quit. The reason he quit was because there was editorial control over what you could say at The Intercept. He left because he was writing an article on Hunter Biden, and they didn't want him speaking the truth on Hunter Biden. They wanted to protect the Democratic Party. That's why they didn't want him to be able to say what he wanted to say. So that's why he left The Intercept. So, now you got the Kavernacle, who is one of those video essayists who claims to be a leftist, but spends all their time smearing real leftists like Jimmy Dore and Tulsi Gabbard. And he's done this fake expose on Glenn Greenwald. Let's take a look at it.
So in the mid-90s, Glenn Greenwald was an associate at the prestigious corporate law firm of Wachtel, Lipton, Rosen and Katz, where he had a reputation as a hard-knuckled combatant. But the job bored him. He would later admit to spending hours at work devouring political commentary on the web. By 1996, Greenwald had co-founded his own litigation firm, where he would spend the next decade. The firm did well, although by Greenwald's own admission, many of the cases he worked were shitty. It was in his pro bono work that Greenwald discovered his true passion, defending the civil liberties of extremists. In several cases over a 5-year span, Greenwald represented Matthew Hale, the head of an Illinois-based white supremacist World Church of the Creator, which attracted a small core of violently inclined adherents. Greenwald's other clients included the Fascist National Alliance, who were implicated in an especially horrible crime by kidnapping and attacking 2 Mexican laborers brutally. The day laborers managed to escape, and when they recovered from their injuries, they sued the National Alliance and other hate groups, alleging that they had inspired the attackers. Greenwald described the suit as a dangerous attempt to suppress free speech by making holders of unconventional views liable for the actions of others. His use of a euphemism like unconventional to describe white nationalists was troubling, but on First Amendment grounds, he had a strong case and he made it successfully. Greenwald's pro bono work is not evidence of anything more than a principled lawyer providing hateful people with constitutionally guaranteed counsel. To me, it's a heroic attribute to be so committed to a principle that you apply it, not when it protects people you like, but when it defends and protects people that you hate. But like you see in that, his work as a lawyer and this like free speech absolutism, which he subscribed to, is really evident in how he acts today, in my opinion. How he will defend the worst people and try and like contextualize their bigotry in some sort of like free speech thing.
So his reasoning for why Glenn is a grifter is that back when he was a lawyer, Glenn Greenwald would defend neo-Nazis as their clients. And that's... I mean, you don't have to agree with everything that they say. You just have to agree with the right to say it. That's what freedom of speech means. But I guess that the Kavernacle wants us to think that that's proof that he's a secret right-winger. I mean, it makes me you like him even more. It shows that he's been principled for all this time. Free speech is under attack. There was a time when people got unique ideas on YouTube, unique ideas on the internet. That was the whole point of independent media, that you heard perspectives you didn't hear in the mainstream media. There wasn't the same manufactured consent that you have in the mainstream media. That's something I would like to live up to with independent media. But you're seeing a crackdown in independent media. Big tech companies are working with the CIA to censor people. Leftists are getting smeared as right-wingers. I mean, I remember I used to watch TYT back in 2015-ish when Jimmy Dore was on there. And it wasn't like how it is now. I mean, the censorship campaigns, it's all tied together. It's all part of this CIA-funded deep state agenda to crack down on dissenting voices. So, there you have it.